Oh, how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. And I have some, catching up on readings and number of charts and taking care of my own apartment situation. I have to wait 1 year to get at the Travis. So I have to find another alternative to getting another apartment until something opens up in that area. And working on some projects and catching up on readings. A lot of you have done just wonderful, wonderful support, and I love you for that. Especially my top donors: Ala, Danny Bethia, Golden Child, Jeffrey Green, Alexis Mathis. We have Anika, Robert Tejada, Jesse Lawson, and she paid for a birth chart. And Smiley Girl. Smiley Girl paid for a. So that's that. So there's a couple of more people that I would like to, because it died on me on the camera. It only did 7 minutes. And a lot of subscribers are having issues with that. And with YouTube. YouTube is becoming a little bit unreliable. But these things happen. And then we had a storm warning in Houston, with this hurricane situation. And of course, that caused problems with the internet. And then I found out that my phone was off for 2 days. 2 days. But I think that was kind of like an omen because I had so much work to do and put in, catch up with everybody. And also handle my situation. Of course, with the ops. So, but it feels good though. I feel good. I look good. I feel, it's like something has lifted. Something has lifted, definitely. And things are flowing. I'm now I'm trying to put together like at least $1,000, and I'm going to and hopefully go to Florida for a couple of days because I do have a contract to write 3 books on astrology. These are book deals. So I'm going to start putting together a preamble for the first book that I'm going to write. So I want to, be in a place, with water, sea, relax, stay in a nice hotel, and begin putting that together. The name of the publication is Llewellyn. It's one of the more popular publishers for astrological books. And I'm really excited in entering this next phase of my life where now I will see my books on the shelf, And of course, I want to write a manual for the school as well to leave that behind for future astrologers. So it looks really, really good. I'm back in that energy of creating and attending to my empire. The only thing that I'm trying to find if there's anything else or if there's any kind of like maybe challenge to in meeting these objectives. It's a 7-year plan, but I don't see any, and I don't feel any trouble. I think I've been through a test. I think I've been through the worst. I came out in flying colors, and of course I didn't do this alone. You guys are a part of that. You guys are a part of that. And when I create the charter for the school, I'm going to put all 56,000 of you as contributing members, contributing donors. I want to do something for you. And there are organizations that have that. We're looking at 9/11. 9/11 has like 4,000 or 5,000 people in commemoration for that, just for the. So I want to do something like that with your name subscribers because you have been there from day one, and you know one day I have to prepare to depart from this world, and I would like to leave that behind, and I want you guys to be a part of it because you guys have been extremely supportive, and you got to give yourself props because this has never happened before. This has never happened before. I'm talking and I don't have the headset on. I hope you all were hearing me. I hope so. Okay. So that's the situation. I'm going to the gym, working out, eating healthy, and trying to deal with the drama. You know, dealing with the drama of what's going on here. You know, but it's time to get on a plane and fly out somewhere. Florida, you know, I like Florida. So, you know, for a couple of days, I'll raise some money and do that together. Prepay and stay here for a couple more weeks. You know, I can't believe I've been here since June. Since June, I've been here. You know, but you know, I adapt anywhere I go. So it's it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Oh, there's a lot of you here today. How many of you here? Oh wow. Good, good. Of course, the first thing I want to do when I get my first influx of money, and hopefully all of my assets will be unfrozen, is to take care of my teeth. Yes. And the energy is so optimum. I feel like going out and dancing. I love dancing. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to see if I can, take a little break and do that this evening. But more exciting for me is to actually interact with you guys. That brings me, that gives me fun, and I learn a lot from you. The past life readings, which I'm going to do today also, is very, very telling. I've never done it before, but it was definitely accurate about people's past lives using the Isis Oracle. Okay? So before we begin, it won't be a long lecture because we're going to continue. I always say I'm going to come back and I don't come back. So I'm staying on to do the other things that I want to do. And some of the other videos that I did on readings, my partner is going to pull them down so we don't flood the channel with other inconsistent topics that deals with the occult and astrology. So those will be taken down once, my staff tells me that the people have seen the video, and if they request to have them taken down, then I will do that as well. Okay? Be careful, there is somebody out there that copied my website, the People's Astrologer, and put down ZELLE and my old number to get money. I'm contacting the police to report it and to press charges because this would be an offense and a scam towards you. They want you to give to the wrong website, and it's a copycat. So, and we actually caught a name. There's a surname or an alias, but there's a name connected to that. So they're putting an investigation. I'm reopening my Instagram account and my Facebook account and doing all the other stuff that I was doing before this nightmare started. My brother will be going to prison. Everything came out in the open. He's very, very ill, so he might die before getting there or die in prison. And that was told to me definitely. And of course, the Taurian woman, I'm not mentioning her name, and a few other people, including some of my other family members that were responsible in stealing my inheritance. And I guess inheritance it is. So, I guess I've been in such crisis mode for so long and taking care of business at the same time that it's almost like I'm ready for the next obstacle. the next opposition, the next adversity. No, but I was told by spirit to relax. It's over. So, but it's gonna take a little bit of time to unwind because I'm not the type of person that looks over my shoulder either. But I'm always ready to land on all fours if something jumps off because it's always been like that. So I had to learn to relax. Go out, buy a nice cream, go out for a nice dinner, have a drink, and sit in the park, just learn to relax and get out of the crisis mode. So like that, it doesn't tax my health. So and I've been very lucky and very very lucky, and a lot of you I know are going through the same situation or have been, and you're moving out of that. So I think it's a win for us, it's a triumph for us. Okay. I just want to do a little reading to see what is the energy like for you, my subscribers, and also for the community. Maceline, if you're listening, you will get the third part of the video some point this evening. Again, I did the calculations and I focused on 3 dates and the planet Jupiter and Venus. And also the moon, since you're going to approach 40 and you're entering a new phase. So all that has to be calculated, and I have that for you. Alrighty. So let's do a little collective reading, and then we're going to do the Egyptian past life dynamic. Now let's see, what card will I take? I wasn't expecting to take these cards because it's so well organized. Okay, repeat after me. Saturn. No. I never thought of putting it like this. My stand broke, unfortunately. Okay. Oh. Let's see. Alright. So let's see what's going on, collective. Then I'm going to, of course, say hello to everyone and write down the names of people who would like to have a past life reading. Of course, it's for free. I enjoy them. I hope you guys do too. So, you guys, how are you guys doing? What is the temperature like? So, first card, my collective. Mosquitoes. They live huge, like, I cut them off myself. Okay, it says here, manifest. But it came out in the reverse. I don't believe this is you, collective. This is the ops. And I was not going to focus on the ops today, but it is collective. So this is good news for you, collective. That means that the ops cannot manifest any more witchcraft spells or projected negativity to you. So that's in the reverse. Very good. I also see a woman here, Taurus. You all know the players. Service. Okay. It looks to me coming out next to manifest, because these are two opposites. Manifest and service, right? So this can be that some people or some of the ops want to ask for forgiveness and want to atone for what they've done to you collective. The best way to atone is to engage in selfless service. Selfless service. Uh, it's not that the karma is going to go away, but it can be mitigated and balanced off if some of these ops give of their time and energy, which they have given enough towards the dark side, now towards the positive. If they focus on that, it's a way out of their situation. Not completely though, but at least God will provide mercy because they are going to balance it out by dedicating their lives now to service. And it has to be genuine. So that's what I see the ops, some of them doing this. And maybe possibly even you collective may feel that you are inspired by what you've been through and overcame a lot. And in itself is prepared you for maybe a higher level of calling that's going to involve the public. For many of you, not all of you. Okay. Anishka Ahmed. Anishka Ahmed, you paid for a birth chart months ago. I haven't heard from you. I know you are in Afghanistan. I'm trying to reach you. So I didn't forget, Miss Ahmed. I keep records of everything. Okay. We have many of you are going into prosperity. Coming out next to the service card, the best way for you to obtain abundance is to engage in some kind of service that's going to help the whole, help the collective, bring joy, happiness, and balance to other people's lives. It's like you guys have become veterans by default. Or they bite you even in the earlobe. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so annoying. Oh. Okay. We have here learn. Learn coming out next to prosperity means that many of you can now take the opportunity to go back to school or get a trade or get a certificate program or enter a certificate program, like to enhance your skills. Maybe you have a side hustle, or this could be a side hustle. But with the learn card being here, I think you guys are ready to go to the next level of initiation and learning about the occult. Always keep studying, always keep learning, keep questioning. It's all very helpful. And I also get the feeling that the ops, so many of them are having a change of heart. Many of them have been touched by this situation that has been going on. And I think the fact that many of them have been defeated and are now in poverty, this will humble them a little bit. So it's happening to the collective and also to the ops. Very good. Very good. Some lessons are learned the hard way. And I see here a polarity where the ops have learned some very painful lessons due to some painful choices that they've made in the past. And you collective have learned a new level of strength that you probably didn't even feel that you had it within you to withstand a lot of the stuff that you have been going through. So give yourself your props. You really are unique because you guys fought, defended yourself, and held on to your integrity. So that should be celebrated. Connection. Many of you went inward and made a connection from within. Many of you sought out a higher power of the Creator. You didn't win this war by yourself. You have angels, archangels, and the God of your belief to also chip into the fight. So your own connection to your own soul, even if it means to your higher self, if you don't believe in anything else, it was still positive. You know, it rose your vibration. Many of you need to relax, myself included. Here it is, relax. It came out in the reverse. Okay? And coming out next to connection, you know, if many of you want to manifest abundance or even bring in a divine counterpart, you have to be still, you have to be relaxed, you have to be calm so you don't distort energy from within out and then bring in a distorted partner, right? Like attracts like. So make sure that, and I'm taking this myself to relax. Just relax. The worst is over. Okay, one more. One more. Reach for the stars. Many of you have the ability to do that, but you have to, coming on next to the relax card, because this card is reach, but it came out in the reverse. Okay? I actually agree that it should be the reverse. Because if you're going to relax, you can't do, you have to stop all activities. Everything has a cycle, everything has a period, right? So it's good that this came out in the reverse because we need to kind of like now reach out for now. Enjoy your peace and solitude. Many of you may be in solitude, maybe many of you need to be in solitude. Not isolation, but in solitude. You know, to learn to meditate and just relax. Do some breathing exercises. Hug a tree. You know, do something that will reconnect you to all that's around you. All right. Oop, that was it for the collective reading. Kind of like informal. But I don't feel them anymore. I don't feel them. I don't feel them at all. So it really is a good thing. Okay. There was something else. Yes, let me see who's here. Oh. All right. Well, before I do, let me start with the Egyptian because I don't want to mess that and then, take time to put that together. The devil is always in the details. We have to go back in time. We have to go back in time to discuss why the Egyptians were so preoccupied with death. It's very similar to. Did you guys ever watch a movie called The Maze? What's this now? I don't know what that is. It was a movie that came out, I think, in the early 2000s called The Maze, about these teenagers that were like in some kind of labyrinth of mazes. And there was a monster in there, and they had to get out, and it would open and close and change. Something is giving me a notification here. I don't know what it is. Let me see what it is. Let's see what it is. Live chat, Top chat. Well, that's kind of crazy. It's acting up. Super chat, none. Hi, all chat messages, no. All messages are visible. Yeah, live chat. There we go. Joint one. How are you? Uh-huh. Okay, you have a question. Fernando, why do you use the ascendant as the mask and not the oops, and not the middle of Aries? I thought the cusp was two situations happening at the same time. No, we use the ascendant because that's the rule. It's just one of those universal rules. Uh, that's why. Let's see. Age of chemistry. Hello, Fernando. How do I get a private birth chart reading? By calling 281-690-8825 and we'll put it on the schedule when you want it. That's simple. Look at the description box so you can see the prices. Uh-huh. Uh, Stanislav Bartoy. I hope I pronounced that right. I hope I pronounced that right. Crystal 67, yes, thank you. Likewise. Likewise. You know, this is my favorite part. But it's acting up, it's acting up. Because it's acting up. You see, I'm telling you, now it's up. Like, it's gotta give it a minute. Hello, Fernando. How do I get a? Okay, we did that. We have here. Oh, it keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps the live chat keeps disappearing. Unbelievable. Why is Libra balanced? All the websites are saying it's because of the equinox, or is it because Libra is in the middle of zodiac? It's both. It's both. Kevin N, how are you? Mando 369, how are you? Linda, how are you? Manda, how are you? Let's celebrate their first supper on a live stream. What is this? Age of chemistry. Are you okay? Yeah, I gotta do this again. It's that crazy. Okay, we have Kayla David. Fernando, I just sent a donation. Can you please do a past life reading for me? Of course, Kayla. Will you be the first name? Kayla Davis. Was that Kayla Davis? Kayla Davis. Let's see, just making sure. Age of Christianity. Kayla Davis, yes. Let me write you down. Kayla Davis. Okay. All right. I'll be like doing this periodically to see who's here and all that because it's acting up. I guess it'll be like that, and I'm gonna have to be at peace with it. So let's do a past life reading for Kayla Davis. Oh God, I gotta go back to this. I think I have an idea. Bingo. Bingo. Now, motherfucker ain't gonna move now. Yeah. Kayla Davis. Let's see what you are bringing into this life. And where was your soul last incarnated before coming as Kayla Davis in this life? Not everyone is going to have a, well, you see, all humans, and this is an occult mystery that I haven't discussed yet, all humans were born, let's say there's 5 billion human beings on the planet. All 5 billion human beings live in the prior epoch and the epoch prior that. There is a limit to how much humans can populate the earth. There is a set number. Well, it's not hard to believe because we see that with the animals. Like the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs were not allowed to multiply and consume all of the earth. They were given a particular set of species and number, and just enough where they do not deplete the planet's resources because of their size. And when their energy was no longer needed, they were extinct. And that can happen with the gods, and that can happen with humans too. And we got plenty of stories in the Bible that talk about certain tribes of Israel that were probably exterminated had it not been for the other tribes to come in and save it. And this happened to I think I mentioned it before, with the tribe of Benjamin, where Jehovah was going to destroy the entire tribe. Women, children, everything. And the other tribes came together secretly and took women from the tribe of Benjamin to preserve the race, the tribe. Because Jehovah, in one of his rants, was going to destroy this tribe. Fierce God here. Okay, Kayla Davis. I keep hearing music like Indian music. India, which is another very ancient continent, shares many transcultural themes with Africa, especially Central and South Africa, and also the neighboring islands that belong to Africa, the continent. One of them being Mauritius. Mauritius is one of those. Mauritius used to be called Lemuria before it was changed to the name, which just left my thought. Mauritius. And many of the natives there believe that many of their descendants can be connected to Lemuria. There may be similarities or remnants of Lemuria here. I don't think it would be on surface, because we're talking Lemuria, we're talking close to billions of years ago, if not trillions. The earth changes and morphs. And I doubt very much that we have topsoil now that resembles that of Lemuria. No. But I do believe that many of its mysteries are Mauritius and Lemuria are underneath the ocean floor. Yeah. Also, okay, Spirit is here. Let's begin. Kyla Davis. I mentioned the last time I did this that many of you have occult gifts and also psychic powers and abilities. And Egypt was the center of everything when it came to mysticism, spirituality, and serious occult, hermetic initiatory orders. Look what came out here. This is beautiful. In a past life, you were, what's the name of you were a Phoenician woman. Phoenicia, it's North Africa, or was, and it was one of these towns that were involved in epic wars with the Romans and also with the Egyptians, and also the Middle East. Um, they're telling me that you were a tradesperson. You traded from India to Egypt. You were here once, and you were involved in farming, grazing. I see a turkey here. I see chicken here, and I see sheep. You were definitely a man. You were definitely a man, but you had like a sensitivity, like an empath. And then they're not showing me much here, but you were a farmer, and you switching. So you in agriculture, or maybe raising produce. Uh, it was some kind of farm, and the land was very, very tough, very tough. And I see a donkey, and it's a different species of a donkey. It's clearly not the type of donkey that we see today. Ah, it's funny because they're telling me that as a man, there was no spiritual awakening on a soul level. And in the next life, will you find yourself in Egypt in 325 BC? That's a long way ago. And here you were learning the mysteries of Isis. Again, there was already an inclination towards the occult and the mysticism. And here you definitely was a practicing magician. But let me tell you what type of magic existed back then. Now, really connection with nature, and vibing with nature. Nature was the cooperative, dynamic, and engaging in magic. And they evolved from there. Very pleasant. And as a woman, you were very pretty, but you died at 16 from a localized infection. And that was very common. The life expectancy of humans, the further back in time we go, was shorter and shorter. Now we're living longer. But there was a time where the average life expectancy for mankind was 20. Especially if they got up in the morning, tilled the land until they dropped dead tired in their tents. Nutrition was not like it is today. With all kinds of varieties. There was bread and grain was actually the diet. You might like these kinds of foods today, or you might not. This one. Wow. The miracle of Isis. So here we have the wings of Isis, and here we got the miracle of Isis. What does miracle mean? Magic. Just like faith, which Jesus used a lot in the book of Matthew, is no different than the word belief. So, but it's in the reverse. So it looks like you were learning, but you didn't get to complete or finish. Your life was came short. You died too early. As we define it today, it was the norm to live a certain life expectancy going back even 150 years ago. Yes. Divine guardian. it's funny, and this happens a lot. You have guides or archons, even way back, that will teach you and instructing you. But humanity was very unaware of the unseen, and you probably did not. Uh, you were not aware of the impulses that was coming into your mind from these archons. Some people dismiss these voices that they hear, or they get a hunch or they see something before it happens, and it scares most people, so they choose not to use it. And when you don't use it for a while, it does go dormant. This happened in this lifetime, and that's repeating itself here. So you definitely have spiritual gifts that you can rely on to move you forward in your career or in any endeavor that you want to pursue in life. But if you do have a fascination for the Egyptian culture, there's a reason why. And I see here there were tablets, because back then they didn't have paper to write, and most humans in those days did not know how to write. So there was a lot of limitations, and as a woman, you couldn't do too much either. So there was a lot of restrictions here. You're back in flesh, reincarnated in an age and epoch where a woman can do almost anything that a man can do, and above. So it's almost like you have a chance to complete something that, because of your sex, age, and circumstances at the time, you were not able to complete. Miss Kayla Davis. But in this life, you can. Talking specifically of this topic or aspect of your reincarnated self. I hope you liked it. Hope you liked it. It's fun. I'm trying to get the chat over. This is Red Hair 7. Right? Resi Real 7. Resi Real 7. Resi Real 7. Come on now. There we go. Ooh. I heard a car screech. A car screech. But it's not a car, but I see a horse and wagon. And this is in Europe, a place called today Warsaw, which is in the country of Poland. I don't believe you were Polish, because that race of Slavics did not exist in that region at that time. But it is what we call, Warsaw. And it's in Poland, that region. I'm getting Armenian descent as well, which is weird because you shouldn't be in that part of the world. Okay. You were a woman and you were a Leo. And you lived during the age of Ra, Amun Ra. And we're going back, a good 5,000 years ago. You were a servant, and you lived a simple life in which you assisted the women around you. See, back in those days, women merged together. Women were responsible for culture and community building and sustaining. And you were like a part of this group of women. And there was no individuality. There was no personality or even a personal identity. Of course, it was going on, but because women had limited range to be themselves, many women, because it's a circumstance of the time, were not able to. They became like an appendage to their husbands, a utility to their husbands. They themselves were not allowed to develop as individual human beings with their needs and wants and aspirations. That was not encouraged for the woman. She was an ancillary star, a supportive network. If there was any kind of independence that was allotted to her, it was to merge with other women in the process of childbirth or cooking. Those were the principal necessities in which society valued the woman for, and bearing children. Right? So, very limited. But you were full of questions, full of questions and thought philosophy that you had to keep to yourself. You died with these things inside of you. So in this life, there's a possibility that now you want to put this out and make a name for yourself, or want to assert a particular identity that was not allowed in prior epochs because of being a woman. And of course, there is the sun god, which was the ruler of the day. Okay. We also have. It looks like there was a lot of activity going on in Egypt. There was a lot of activity going on in Egypt at the time, even though you were far removed from Egypt. But I'm getting that the continent or the area where Poland is today did not have that same morphology. It had a different morphology. So it's like Poland wasn't there, it was something else. The country mass, the land mass was different. Because the earth reinvents itself every so often. Mhm. Yeah, and then in the life that follows, you were a wicked man that caused a lot of injustices, and you had like lack of empathy, lack of emotional regard. But this is or was common in those days, because remember I told you that man has 7 bodies, right? There's certain periods where, again, God did not create man with all 7 bodies intact. Humanity had to evolve to get all of them. This is one of those situations. Right? Um, and you had a child. You had a child. And the child turned out to be really wicked. Look at him. You know that? He turned out to be really wicked. Almost like a bad seed, or the seed of Cain. Right? You died young as well, but not before going blind. There were issues with blindness. So be careful with your eyes. Check your eyes if there's a correlation with your eyes, because you were blind before. You also engage in low vibrational energy, witchcrafts and spells, which was the order of the day in ancient Egypt. They're telling me that you had a sister, a twin sister, but she died and you lived. Mm. Cartucci. These are the divine powers of names. In this incarnation, and I'm going back to 50, 59 AD. Further, it was like you were a servant, but someone that was assigned to a particular scribe. And this is going back to ancient Egypt. You see, a lot of Egyptologists, especially when I was growing up in the 80s, they said that the reign and splendor of Egypt with the pyramid was about 5,000 years ago. I remember I was like 16 hearing the professor say this. And even then, I knew that he was wrong. I remember telling my mom the story about what the Egyptologist was saying. And maybe because he was, Caucasian, most Egyptologists are Caucasian, they're not even Arab. I was skeptical in believing that they will know more than we do about, these ancient cultures. So I didn't take it seriously. Their opinion on whatever it was that they were looking for. These shows always had the excavation of this and that. No, I believe that it was much older than what they're saying. And I have said 25,000 years is better suited. Well, now I'm in my 50s, and I heard not too long ago that Egyptologists did make a mistake, and then they are now postulating that this happened 25,000 years ago. Exactly what I had said when I was 16. No, and all that stuff that we now could not happen in the span of 5,000 years. So the culture of Egypt is far more ancient than people give it. It was very kind of uneventful. I don't get the feeling that you enjoy being a woman in these periods because there was severe limitation. And it's almost a lot of this stuff you've learned by observation. So you're very good at observing. You probably have these talents innate in you. Very good. And you died of leprosy. You died of leprosy. There you go. It keeps leaving. I'm a woman now in this lifetime. Yes, I did pick that up that you are. Okay. My Saturn return is hitting very hard, moving very, very fast at the speed of bright light. Yeah, the Saturn return can be a very painful cycle, but be lucky that you're still alive because most people die at 29. They're not here to live a long time. So you're good. Can I get a past life? This is... Okay, I have to move it. Mamando 369, how are you? Always good to see you. You've been with us for a long time too. Mamando 369. Okay. Oh, I love these water vitamins. Okay. I'm trying to eat more because I do see that I'm lost a lot of weight because of my teeth. So I have to find creative ways to eat because I have to keep the weight up. There you go. Wow. Egypt. And this was, because Egypt had two empires. You had Upper Egypt and you had Lower Egypt. What they call Upper Egypt is down towards the Nile. And what they call Lower Egypt is really on top. Uh, of course, Lower Egypt was far more ancient than Upper Egypt. And here we have the Kingdom of Dendur, which is another period very closely in tandem to that of a particular period in Egyptian history. Um, wow. You have contact with nature. This is divine, divine creativity and manifestation. And look at the sun, and you spoke to animals, and animals spoke to you. Had a special connection with animals and with nature all around. Yeah. Very good. You were a man and a woman. You had successive births. And it's giving me like Aries energy because in this life, in that life, there was a lot of ambition, and the creativity that you were doing in those days was crocheting and basket weaving, and you made some very, very interesting, creative stuff that you sold to the markets. The life didn't seem really um, satisfying, and again, this has to do with the fact that as a man, there was some altercation in which you lost your life in some altercation on a road. On a road. Here we have this is another period. We have the falcon, not the symbol of Ra on top. So I'm getting more of a more primitive existence, like nomads. It's going back that far, and there was an issue here with antisocial behavior, no emotional regard or empathy. In another lifetime, immediately succeeding the last one, you had died in childbirth, or child gave birth, and you died in the process. And this was also common in those days. Wow. It's a possibility that you might have had an interest. This is the Lady of the Stars. You might have dabbled into the limited knowledge of astrology. In those days, only the priests and the high priest had the knowledge of astrology, as limiting as it was then. Because remember, the planets, they did not exist. That they did, but human awareness did not tap into that yet. The only planet that was taken seriously and was more important at times than the sun is the moon in all its seven phases. Humanity understood that in those days. And it's interesting because the moon has seven phases and we got seven planets. The seven planets were not discovered yet. But the moon with its seven phases mimicked those seven planets when they were discovered hundreds of thousands of years later. So that's very interesting here. And your expertise was moon magic. That was the expertise, because that was all that people knew and that was available. Again, there was volcanoes, active volcanoes, where you lived. The earth it looked different. It looked different. There were more volcanoes on the surface than there are now. Most of the volcanoes of the earth are on the ocean floor, probably belonging to Atlantis. In the age of Atlantis, there were many, many, many active volcanoes. Very good. So yeah, I'm also getting the impression that he was a tough cookie. Both this masculine energy as a woman, but one of the lifetimes you were a man, and I'm also getting grazing, doing farming. Uh, Here, you die by being mauled to death by lions and wolves and other species that are no longer seen today. So you might have a fear of animals, or at least dangerous ones. You might feel apprehensive when you go to the zoo, and you might be also studying the occult with the Lady of the Stars here, or there's an inclination to be pulled that direction. Uh-huh. The Serpent of Fire, priestess of the Serpent Sisterhood. Okay. Here, this is a consolidation of miniature learning from prior lifetimes. And with here, you in this life, and we're going into 1000 BC. And here, life was still very, very primitive and, kind of dangerous. And you were a man with a strong feminine inner vibration. There was a lot of misunderstanding in that lifetime. And life is, things are no different today than they were then. As a woman, you couldn't do certain things because you were a woman, and here they're letting me know that you were stoned to death because of doing things that you weren't supposed to be doing as a woman in those days. I'm not getting the feeling of the man being a man in that period, but I do see the Atlantean epoch here, and you were a man several times in that incarnation. So again, there's a common theme with the people that I'm reading the Egyptian oracle for past lives, is that a lot of you were somehow in your soul's history involved in the interest in Hermetic magic or magic of nature. However simple it was, there was an awakening to that. Okay? In these periods, if you were like a common person in those days led a simple life or a very difficult life. If they gave birth to children, they usually die or the children die. And the life expectancy was very short. But even with that, there was already a consciousness that humanity was not alone. That nature itself was a live, living essence. We call this animism. And you may have a special connection with nature and animals, but you keep it, silent. And in this life, I don't know why they're telling me this, but in this life, you should do a hobby of drawing, maybe drawing animals. Even ones that may look different, it may be a species that you didn't know in those times. Whereas that same species might not exist today. See something here with drawing or painting on canvas. And that is a read for you. I hope you enjoyed that. Just snippets. Snippets. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, that person who sent a donation for the reading, what was it? That wasn't Super Chat. Child Girl, let me see. Was somebody else. Smiley Girl, no. It wasn't Smiley Girl. Who was it? I'll catch you. But I know that someone paid for 25. I wanted to do that. And somebody's sent a donation. Now I thought I wrote it, but that's not it. Let's see who else wants to do a past life. Snippets. Snippets. They really don't say anything. It's kind of like, fun. Just fun little snippets. Uh, David. Oh, David. It's crazy.